Hey everybody, how you doing? Sir Stevie here, bringing you a new Warzone video. In the video today, I'm bringing you a tutorial, and this is basically a guide with 6 tips and tricks to help you improve in Warzone. These have really helped me out. These are things that I've been using now for a while. They've helped me get some 20+ kill wins in solo, so they really do help me out quite a bit. If these tips and tricks do help you out, please feel free to hit the subscribe and like button and turn the notifications on. It really helps out a lot. But without further ado, everyone, let's get straight into the tips. So moving on into tip number 1. This is your loadout drop. So obviously with Warzone, it's quite different from other battle royales in the sense that I feel like the emphasis on Warzone isn't necessarily to loot. It's to loot like items, like equipment, guns, that kind of thing. It's to loot for money, and then you can get your favorite loadout. The reason the custom loadout is so important, it's not just because of the guns, it's because of the perks that come with it. When you start out in Warzone, you don't have any perks on, so to be able to get your custom loadout, not only do you get the guns that you want, but you also get the perks that will help you get there and help you get further into the game. One perk I can recommend more than any other is Ghost. It's your second perk option. This means that you hide from heartbeat sensors and UAVs, so you're literally a ghost, you know. Especially seeing as everyone is using heartbeat sensors at the moment, it really helps out with hiding from people. Plus, you get to use the guns that you're more comfortable with if you're someone like a multiplayer based player, so you'll be able to take the guns from there into this and you'll be able to use them. So moving on into tip number 2, this is the bounties. Now, obviously in Warzone we've got quite a lot of mini games in there. We've got contracts for things like reconnaissance missions, bounties. The main one I go for is bounties. The reason being is you get money from completing them, plus it works out as a miniature UAV because it tells you where a certain enemy is. They're so useful, especially if you're completing multiple bounties, because each one that you complete, I believe you get a percentage increase on the kill for the next one you get. So in the end, there's been cases where I'm getting like over 6,000 per kill, plus then the loot that the dude's carrying. This has really helped with me trying to get high kill games because it's helped me to keep affording to buy UAVs so I can keep finding enemies, that kind of thing. I've not had to worry about running out of money for armor plates as well, so I'd really recommend completing the bounties. You can also do the reconnaissance ones if you're maybe not going for ridiculously high kill games and maybe you want to prepare for the next zone, because it obviously tells you where the next zone is going to be, so it can give you time to prepare for it as well. Moving into tip number 3, this is the equipment. Now, there's 2 pieces of equipment that I personally really like to use. With my first piece, that is the heartbeat sensor. It seems quite obvious. Everybody is using that thing at the moment, mainly due to the lack of footstep audio, but obviously it just really helps if you're trying to find someone that's corner camping, that kind of thing. The one thing to bear in mind is it doesn't show absolutely everything. If someone's got the ghost perk on, they will be hiding from that. So if there's no one on there, it doesn't guarantee that, say, a building is empty. There could still be someone in there. With my secondary though, with the lethal piece of equipment, I love having a claymore. The reason being, some of you might think it's so you can corner camp, it really isn't. The reason I really love having a claymore is, say for example I'm pushing an opponent and they are mounted on a wall and they break my armor and I've not even landed a bullet on them yet. They start to push me, I'll pull back, maybe I pull back around the side of a building, I'll slam a claymore down. The reason being is, if they hear that, they might then decide I don't want to push, I don't want to risk getting killed. Or if they don't hear it, they might run into the claymore, it breaks their armor, you can then finish them off. It can really change the tide of a battle. Moving into tip number 4, this is redeployment. So obviously, say for example, you just died, you've won your gulag fight, good for you, and then you're coming back to land. The one thing I really don't recommend, and I just don't do it at all, is landing back where I died. I feel like a big instinct for a lot of people is to go back, land, and get your loot back. There really isn't any point. Yes, you might get your guns back, but they might not even have any ammo for them. Or worse yet, the person that already killed you could just be sat camping around there waiting, hoping that you redeploy into that same spot. What I tend to do is I tend to land somewhere completely different. I try and land somewhere that hasn't been looted yet. If you can find a nice little like stack of buildings where it hasn't been looted, odds are you'll be able to get your 6,000 back to get your custom loadout drop in, and along the way you'll find some ammo as well. If you're even luckier, you might be deploying and you might have an opportunity to go for one of the free loadout drops that just fall at random points during the game, so there's always that as well. So moving into tip number 5, this one might seem like a bit of a rant one, but it really isn't. This is basically don't camp. The reason I can't emphasize this enough is, if you're a player that wants to learn to become better at Warzone, you want to be able to become a better player, you want to win more gunfights, you want to be pushing to get high kill wins, that sort of thing, camping is not going to get you anywhere. The reason being is, yeah, camping can get you wins. You might get the odd win here and there, but at the end of the day, it isn't improving you as a player. You're not getting better as a player because maybe a lot of the fights you're catching the enemy at a disadvantage. if you really want to become a better player at Warzone and like in solos or trios, you have to get out there and actually fight opponents, learn what playstyle suits you, learn what guns suit your playstyle. Maybe for example you're not sure on what sensitivity you want to play on, you'll need to get in fights to learn if your current sensitivity is working for you. So that's why I can't emphasize enough, please don't camp. And then last but not least, coming into the final tip. This one is sort of like a traditional tip for Call of Duty in general, but I feel like now it really is a lot easier to do, and that is simply one for gunfights, and that is aiming for the head. I feel like in every Call of Duty that I've played to date, the movement has been a lot more fast-paced than Modern Warfare, so aiming for the head isn't always a possibility unless, say, you're sniping. I feel like in this one, though, enemies can't be sliding, dodging bullets as easily now. I feel like it's a lot easier for me to be able to aim for someone and headshot them, and obviously with headshots comes a lot more damage, a lot more reward. So if an enemy does catch you off guard, if you can aim for the head, start landing the shots there, odds are you might win the gunfight, even if they start shooting you in advance. That's it from me for today, everyone. I really hope these tips have helped you out. If they have, feel free to hit the subscribe, like button, turn the notifications on. It'd be massively appreciated. That's it from me for today, though. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.